Great. Well, welcome everyone to the APP Specialty Corner. I know the conference starts next week, but we have this great opportunity to get together as a section and provide some highlights about this past year and looking forward. I'm Liz Fox. I'm the current chair of the APP section and my clinical practices at Stanford. So we're going to walk through some slides. We have a great set of speakers here to share with you. Next slide, Rachel. So as I said, we're going to talk about the section history, the leadership, talk about last year's projects, current year's projects, and then we should have quite a bit of time at the end to actually open up some dialogue. And we're technology challenged this year with COVID and everything, so we will be using the chat function, as Ali said. Next slide. So the section, for you, those of you that don't know, we actually have not been in existence very long, actually only 3 years. The section was first formed in February of 2017 under the leadership of Sarah Livesay and Jessica White. We started with 10 members. The first meeting was actually in DC. And each year we've added 2 members. So we're finally up to a full complement of 14 members of our section. Currently, that's amazing, that 444 APPs within NCS. So the section has really grown and we should be really proud of our colleagues. Next slide. Great. So this is the current leadership. Again, myself as the chair, chair-elect is Rachel. We have an Educational Products Committee liaison, Pat, our amazing staff member from NCS, Ali, and then our board liaison, Susan. The section leadership, next slide. Great. Includes this group of people. So we have Megan, who is our past chair, rotating off last year. Anna, Kelly, Patty, Emma, Lindsay, Valerie, Ebony, Jenna, Diane, Patrick, and Dee. And I just have to say thank you to this amazing group of individuals for all the work and commitment they've put in this past year, especially during our challenging times of COVID. But this group of leaders represents NPs, PAs, and CNSs all across the country in a variety of practice settings, including academic and non-academic. So it's been a really exceptional group of people to work with. Next slide. Looking forward to 2021. Your chair again is Rachel. The chair-elect is Anna, and I am very happy to send over the committee into their very capable hands. And then our board liaison will stay Susan, our EPC liaison is Pat, and again, Ali will continue to support our section. We're fortunate this year that no one is actually rotating off the committee, so there's no vacancies to fill, but the following year there definitely will be some vacancies. Next slide. I think Lindsay. Yeah.
Lindsay and Jenna, we're going to talk about podcasts.
Hi guys. So this is Lindsay's brainchild. We originally started with a 4-part series and then got so excited we added a 5th part. And these topics were things that were brought up in our needs assessment from last year's meeting. So you may have already listened to and enjoyed our tele-ICU and our orientation podcasts. But we do have one more that's coming out at the beginning of October, one more that is coming out in December, and then we have billing, which is the hot topic that everyone wants to hear about, which will be released in 2021. So we want to remind you guys that you can actually get CE credit now if you watch them on the on-demand on the NCS website, but you can also get them off of Spotify or your other favorite platform to listen to podcasts.
Yeah. And just to add to what Jenna said, thank you to, it was a pretty big group who worked on making this possible. And a lot of the members are part of the leadership group, but we had other people who were part of the general APP membership in NCS. And getting involved in a project like this is a great way to start getting involved in the community of NCS and to network with other APPs around the country and globe, really.
Let us know if you guys have any other topics you want us to address. I was very excited because personally Kelly and I got to reach out to one of my heroes that you guys will see with our staffing models and utilization podcasts. So just dream big and we will see what we can do to make it happen.
And then I have Liz again.
Yep. So another project, ongoing project actually, that we do annually is the APP workshop at our annual meeting. This year we're fortunate to keep our workshop. It'll all be done via Zoom on Tuesday. So listening to the needs of the section again. This year we're going to spend quite a bit of time talking about imaging basics. We have two great speakers that are going to focus on CT basics and MRI. They'll walk you through basic interpretation and then highlight with a bunch of great case studies. Again, a large portion of our section workshop will be on that. Then we're going to have a great ventilator management discussion, ventilator basics, but we'll also highlight some of the COVID concepts. And then finally, we're going to wrap up with a multidisciplinary panel to talk about how do we actually sustain teams, really focusing on the APP role. So I think it's a great workshop lined up, and we hope many of you are already registered for it. But if you're not, you absolutely can still register for that workshop. Again, it's Tuesday morning.
And then I have Anna talking about the networking event.
Hi, everyone. Last year's networking event was in Vancouver, very near the convention center. I would call it a success. We had, I want to think, around 60 people. So we had a nice turnout. It was a very casual event, which worked out well. We had a whole section of a restaurant partitioned off just for the APPs, and people could order beverages or food of their choice. It was just nice to have kind of like an unscheduled, very casual time where we could get to know each other a little bit better, build that work, and just kind of get to know our resources among the APP community. Next year's event in 2021 will hopefully be in Chicago, and we're hoping to plan a similar event, maybe with a fun icebreaker in the beginning. We're open to ideas. Please feel free to send ideas if anybody knows of any fun, geeky medical icebreakers. And then look for emails and some online postings and invitations a few months prior to the event. We'll give you some reminders, and even if you can just stop by for half an hour to an hour, it's fun and good to get to know each other.
All right. So I'm Rachel Haslin. I'm the incoming chair of the APP committee, and I am the lead APP at Maryland. So I'm going to talk to you guys about some updates that we did to some existing projects that we actually had. These projects originally were completed in prior years, but we have a really awesome APP orientation course that received a review and update of content this year. This has been a hugely successful project. Our year-to-date sales on this product are 135 units, and our revenue from that is actually over $64,000. And so this is definitely a very popular product, and was something that we put together to fulfill a need based off a survey that we had done of our APPs within NCS. And then additionally, we have webinars, 4 webinars that you see listed here. And those were reviewed and updated this year as well. And the units sold on our webinars, we've sold 56 of those this year with a total revenue of over $4,500. The neuroanatomy and neuroradiology webinar in particular received a very thorough update to include more in-depth reviews of neuroradiology. That's worth checking out if you have not participated in those webinars thus far. And then I have Megan and Lizzie talking about our COVID response survey.
Thank you. Sorry, technically challenged over here. Hi, everyone. I'm Lizzie. I'm pretty new to NCS, and I work in the neurosciences ICU at Massachusetts General Hospital. And I'm really honored and excited to tell you about this project. So this project is to discuss APP utilization in the midst of the pandemic and the effects that response has had on our practice. And this project has been spearheaded by Lindsay Marchetti and Megan Brissy, and has involved time, thought, and energy from neurocritical care providers across the country. I'm really hopeful that we can get CNSs, NPs, and PAs involved in taking this survey. The survey itself will be open until October 11th. and can be accessed through the NCS webpage or through this PowerPoint if it becomes available, and then through clicking on the research header and active surveys. And then it should really only take 10 to 15 minutes. I just recently took it and it didn't take very long. There's also implied consent form that does not actually need to be filled out. You can just go through straight to the survey. And I hope if you guys are watching and you have your phone available, put a reminder in your phone to take this survey right after this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lizzie. All right, I'm just going to talk without video. So for future projects, we are looking at adding some oncology content to NCS. This is actually going to be an interdisciplinary edition of oncology content that Anna actually had spearheaded, and we're looking forward to getting that project rolling in the new year. We are also looking to do a skills lab, hopefully at the Chicago NCS meeting in 2021 if we're able to, or in a future conference if for some reason COVID puts a halt on that. And then continued facilitation of our APP section discussion board by our APP leadership group. And Anna is going to talk to you a little bit about that discussion board.
Hi. I also wanted to introduce myself as well. I did not earlier, but I am Anna Kukul. I'm a nurse practitioner at UCSD in San Diego. I wanted to just do a quick introduction to the APP section community page and just kind of talk about some of the highlights of using this page. It is dedicated to the APP community, and it's a great resource to build camaraderie and just kind of collaborate with projects and information. There are 187 members on looks like 187 members that are registered, and you have to actually go into your NCS site and register to be part of this page. There are 444 APPs, so I'm hoping we can get the word out to have more people register. Going through some of the tabs, the first tab is the Community Home tab, and it's a one-stop shop of sorts, so you can just go quickly down and see the latest discussion posts, things that were shared as of recently in the files section under the library tab. It will show you what the latest files uploaded were. And then also it's an easy way to look at current members. If you wanted to try to get in touch with somebody, there's an easy tab button next to each person, and everybody's alphabetized at the bottom of this section. The next tab is the discussion tab, which the discussion board is probably one of our biggest resources, I think, for this site. There's over 400 postings, and it's an open forum, so anybody can post any questions they have, any challenges they're having in their units or in their careers, any new job postings. There's questions about billing, staffing. I saw a question about TCDs. People have posted policies on there that they've created. So pretty much if you have a challenge that you're facing with your unit or your model, staffing model, or whatever it may be, somebody else has probably had a similar challenge. So it's kind of nice to bring it up here and let everybody kind of weigh in. And there's no reason to invent the wheel. So a lot of times if you're working on a policy, somebody else might have a policy that works well for them. These questions are staffed monthly by somebody in the APP leadership committee. So every month we have somebody that goes through the posts to make sure that each post is receives a response, and also if there's any way to help navigate resources, we're able to, if somebody has a project they're working on and we know of somebody else that might be a good resource for them, we can put them in contact with each other. So we try to keep everything up to date and active on the postings. And then one other nice thing about the discussion board is you receive an email that gives you just kind of a quick one-liner if there's a new posting. So you'll get an email with just the question or comment that somebody posted, so you don't have to go into the NCS website and open it up every time. So this is great for us to use as an open forum. And then there's a library section, and this is where you can upload different information, and you can use this for resources. There are all of the minutes from the monthly APP Leadership Committee meetings. So all of those are uploaded if you'd like to get information on what's new with all of our projects that are happening. There's different journal articles that are updated and uploaded there. And then there's some protocols. I saw an early mobilization protocol, and there's a protocol for straight capping as well. So it's kind of nice to have this as a resource. There's an event tab that will host upcoming events. And then the member section is also a nice resource tool as well. I think encouraging friends or coworkers that are not on this site to sign up would be super helpful. So we have probably about 250 more APPs we could utilize. And under each member, there is a small bio with a picture of the person, and then it shows their APP title, if they're ENLS certified, if they're instructors, tells you what facility they work at and the physical address of the facility. And then there's also an easy button that you can access if you wanted to send somebody a message through the site. So overall, it's a great resource. I think the more people we have using it, the more we can build strength and rapport with our APP community.
So open forum, your voice. What would be helpful to you in your APP practice? What are practice concerns for you? What are professional concerns for you? And how can we help to strengthen your voice and the APP voice within NCS and across the country? So if you guys have questions or concerns or ideas, if you want to use your chat box, Anna will be taking questions there and then letting Liz and I know, and we can answer any questions that you have. If you have an interest in getting involved, after this slide I have Anna and myself our email addresses, and so you can email us and let us know that you're interested in getting involved. We use section members in many of our projects. You know, people that are not part of the leadership group but who have an interest in learning more about what we do within NCS and are interested in working on projects. So even if we don't have an active project that you saw today on this slideshow that piqued your interest, please send us your name, because we've actually circled back with folks previously who've expressed interest when we've started projects that look like they might be a good match for that person.
I'd just like to open up the floor to Mary Kay, our current president, to say a few things.
Hi, everybody. Let me see if I can even start my video. There we are. Hi. So greetings, and I apologize for not being able to make a lot of the section meetings this year, but I was managing probably 4 or 5 meetings a week, and lots, about, I don't know, 50 emails a day, I think, from the president's standpoint. You guys have done an amazing amount of work and projects. The APP orientation, one of the top sellers, really seeing the need and developing and fulfilling that need. So first off, I want to say congratulations. You are a strong group, and as such, there are lots of opportunities within the society to get involved. And if you look around the different committees, you'll see 1 or 2 nurses that are members, and I'd like to see we start to advocate for more. So when Wade is making appointments right now, yes, we have the call for volunteers, but really increasing the numbers to represent diversity, right, and inclusion. But nurses, APPs are part of that. We're different than physicians. So we bring our a unique viewpoint in. So I think reaching out, if you have members that are specifically interested in a certain committee, I think reaching out, the chairs, Rachel and Anna, to the committee chair of that particular committee and Wade as the incoming president to say, hey, you know, that there's only one nurse or one APP on this committee. We'd really like to see 2 to 3. I have 5 interested APPs that would love to serve on this committee. So first off, I think we have to be a little pushy and push ourselves a bit into their, it's not that they want to restrict it, they just don't think about it. And that's what I've discovered. I've been on the board, the first time I went on the board was 2008. And I spent, I'm telling you, the 4 years with my hand up, don't forget nursing, don't forget nursing, don't forget nursing, just to get one nurse or one APP involved in some project. We don't have to do that as much, but we do need to call attention that we're underrepresented. So I would love to see more APP providers on different committees. So if there is a particular interest, there's hopefully a new committee that will be coming up. It's not been approved yet by the board, but it's an inclusion or a diversity, inclusiveness type of committee that we don't officially have the name yet. The concept is going to the board of directors in September, but there's an opportunity, because as I looked at their leadership and their subcommittees, I said, where are the APPs and the nurses? You're all physicians, and that's not okay. So I think as you hear about these committees come up, there's a training committee that is coming up specifically related to looking at residency and fellowship programs. So nursing APP providers have an interest in their training program. So getting involved, that's a brand new committee. How many members have we seated on that committee? Also the Curing Coma. The Curing Coma has, it's exploding. It links you with people all over the world, all disciplines. When we have Daiwai Olson as a doctorally prepared nurse who's co-leading Curing Coma with Dr. Claude Hemphill. But there are some nurses involved. I'd love to see more APP providers involved. There's going to be opportunities for research, a lot of research, collaborative research. So you don't have to design it yourself. You can be part of the research. So there's so many ways to be involved, and that's how we strengthen our presence. I would encourage everyone to speak up and use our chairs here in APP to navigate. And if you need any advice, I mean, I will become the immediate past president, but I still have an ear, or I'm able to tug Wade's ear a bit. And he is probably one of the most inclusive people I know, and he's very open. So I just would like to see great work, but let's put the great work, let's reach out to all those other areas, because we can have a tremendous influence. And I just want to congratulate Dee too. I'm so excited that Dee will be joining the board of directors, and I'd like to see more APP providers be part of that.
Mary Kay, this is Annika Cole. I just want to say thank you for being on our meeting. I feel so proud as a nurse practitioner having you be our president. It makes me feel like, it just makes me very proud of our profession. Just like to tell you that. And then along the same lines of what you were just saying, somebody did post that they've been working with other sections under the trainee section, and they feel like that it's very inclusive, like you were saying, and that they're getting a lot of fulfillment working there. So I think you bring up good points that we can have APPs in different utilized in different areas, and we can bring a lot to the table, and it really does strengthen our voice. So
I don't know where there's a training committee now. It's a training education committee that it was approved by the board in June, and so that will be coming up in the next 3 months. So that's a brand new committee looking at residency, training, fellowship programs, and how we can influence as a society those programs, but that's a huge opportunity for peace. But, you know, I think I'm trying to think of Angela Shap, can't think of her last name. I believe she's the chair. And so linking in anybody that might be interested in becoming involved in the committee beyond the section would be great.
That's excellent.
Does anybody have any questions? That I'm hoping to see everybody virtually. Okay, well, just shoot me an email. I'll be here sitting quietly.
Thank you, Mary Kay. We appreciate you. There is a comment in the chat from Rhonda Finney, and she's the person that works, that's volunteering or working in the trainee section. And she said that they have extended an e-mingle to the APPs and the pharmacy section as well. Let's see, so look to the discussion board for information on that.
Thank you, Rhonda. Well, I have our email addresses up here. I'm Rachel, as I mentioned, and then Anna, who you've heard a number of times through this presentation as well. I'm the incoming chair, and Anna will be the chair-elect. So if you think of something you forgot to ask today, please shoot us an email. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear how you want to get involved. And we can help link you into not only opportunities within the APP section, but across the organization. So thank you so much for joining us today.